Let go.
Turn up, 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 turn up.
Let go.
Turn up, 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 turn up. LLF, Local Louisville Fighting, we'd like to welcome you back to another episode. What we have coming up, you have Estridge Entertainment. We'll be putting on a boxing show June 15th. We just had the Rumble Before the Run amateur show at 2800 with Dorico Murray and All or Nothing Boxing. So we have a lot of things going on for boxing in the city. And also coming up, if you didn't know, we will have a legendary promoter doing a show here in Louisville July 13th. So you're going to want to stay tuned and see what's going on. The boxing scene is back up. It's happening. And LLF, Local Louisville Fighting, we're going to be right there in the middle. We have a special guest today, so stay tuned. We'll be right back after this little break. LLF, we're back on the scene. I am with Jongin Choi. Yes. Hey, that's not the easiest name in the world to pronounce.
Not.
So I can just imagine how commentators feel when you get in there.
I can tell you a funny story about that.
Oh, good. And you are. So we want to welcome him to the set. Welcome you back to LLF. We're back in business. We're back in the building. You have a nickname. Do we have a nickname we can go by?
I have a ring name. I go by Pretty Boy Choi.
Pretty Boy Troy.
But, I also go by Juan.
You go by Juan as
Yes.
well?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to work with Juan and Pretty Boy Troy. That's what I'm going to work with here, just so no disrespect, because, he's got a heavy right hand if you haven't seen it before. If you haven't seen it before, I have. Got a real nice heavy right hand. So professional boxer, is that correct?
Yes.
And are you from here originally? You from Louisville originally? Or
I was born in South Korea.
Okay.
Came to Louisville, Kentucky in 2000 and been here ever since, man. This is home for me.
Is it? All right, is it? Good. I'm glad to hear you. So what made you get into boxing?
Man, it's a long story short.
Right.
People,
you give me the mid version. How did you get into boxing?
People. Whenever people ask me that question, this is what I tell them. I didn't choose boxing.
It chose you.
It chose me.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Some people don't understand that. They don't understand it. Like, it doesn't choose you. It chooses you. You don't choose it. Some people don't understand that. And how did it choose you?
It was just, honestly, it was out of boredom. Me and my friends, we just got bored. Went to Dick's Sporting Goods, bought some gloves, and just duked it out in my living room. And then that became like a weekend thing. People wanted to hop in and do all that stuff because it's something that every guy wants to do. See if they got hands or not.
Yes.
And
everybody wants to see if they got hands or not.
Until they realize they don't.
Right.
Until they realize. So, it became like a weekend thing. And then, people started falling out a little bit. And I realized, man, that I really like this thing. I want to really learn how to do this.
Right.
And the first place, I looked up, just Google boxing, Louisville, Kentucky. And it was Core Combat where I met Abdul Jarvis, the late upcoming, late Abdul Jarvis. And, that's where it started. My first coach, and that was history from there on, man.
Good. I'm glad you touched on that because that's another thing too. Like, for a moment, we just like to say we want to give a big shout out to Abdul Jarvis and his family. He is one of the coaches, one of the trainers, historic around here that had a lot of people and was very involved in the boxing scene here. And he had just passed away recently within the last 2 or 3 weeks.
About 2 weeks.
Yeah, about 2 weeks. He had just passed away. So we want to give a shout out to his family and our condolences. Let him know that he is sorely be missed, and he was a big part of the boxing scene here. And that's another reason why I also have you on the show, too, is you were one of, what do I want to say, pupil, student, trainer?
Pretty much.
You can say that?
One of his kids, technically. He would always call his sons, and, that really meant a lot to some of us because, he really had that. It wasn't just like a trainer, coach, fighter relationship. It was really like a father-son relationship that he kept, and that was always there.
It was, and I noticed that. So when LLF first jumped on the scene, Abdul Jarvis is one of the people that in the beginning, the handful of people that took to us and showed us love. Abdul Jarvis was one of those people. Matter of fact, he actually did our first boxing camp. So he did LLS first boxing camp. So I know Abdul, good guy, love him, and he was supportive when no one knew who we were. So that is also one thing that I loved about him as well. And tell us a story that you have about Abdul. You got one?
Abdul. I do. First time I went in the ring to spar, and I must have showed him some moves where he just got super excited, and I came back into the corner, and he was like, "Man, where'd you learn how to box like that?" And I was just like, "I just watched YouTube." And then he just goes, "Man, YouTube is scary." Yeah, man. I just remember him and then getting super excited because I don't know what he saw in me, but I must have done some good moves or something that I watched on YouTube or something.
Right.
But he got super excited, and then just from there on, man, he really just took me in under his wing and just showed me all the moves.
That's great. That's great. And Abdul Jarvis is someone we love and we're always going to love. And you will see people come and sit in this chair that are going to have a connection to Abdul because it's kind of hard to fight in this city and not have some kind of connection to Abdul Jarvis in any way. So let's get back to you and your career. So have you always been a pro or did you start out amateur and move to pro?
Yep. Started amateur. I started boxing in 2012. In between, I took a little break, but, I got into amateur boxing as a super heavyweight.
Okay, super heavyweight. So you was a little bit bigger then.
I was a little bit bigger, Back in high school, I was like almost 300 pounds, man.
What?
Yeah,
you are kidding.
Yeah, for real. And, boxing really just, as I got into competition, that weight just slowly started burning off. So I fought at super heavy, came down to heavy, light heavy, and then I had like maybe 1 or 2 fights at middleweight, which is 165.
Which is 165?
Yeah, so, I right now I fight at 175 as a pro, but yes, I did start out as an amateur. I got 18 fights in, I wish I had a little bit more before I turned pro, but, Abdul thought, I was
thought it was time.
Yeah,
thought it was kind of time.
There was opportunities coming up with, because I don't know if you remember, because boxing used to be, real dry in Louisville.
Yes. Yes.
But the past
yes.
past 6, 7, 8 years, man, it's just been on the rise.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's when we jumped in here because the first time I saw it, I was just kind of like, wow, man. I said, is this going on around here? I said, no, we're going to do something with this.
Right, for sure. We got to, man.
This
It's Louisville, Kentucky, man. Home
is.
of the greatest of all time.
We about to bring it back and make sure that it becomes back to the mecca
Yes.
of boxing like it used to be. And you're part of that. You're part of that too, which is also great. So let's speak last fight. Saw a little clip of it. Explain to us how that came about. Like when you were at the last fight, I'm gonna tell you right now, we were at the last fight that he was at. It was recent to when Abdul had passed away. It was a little bit more recent. Yep. So when I saw you on the card, I was just kind of like, oh, I'm about to bet the house on this guy. Ain't no way he losing today. I said, ain't no way he's losing today. I said, the spirit of Abdul is in here.
Yep.
There's no way he's losing today. I'm betting the house on this guy, which I did. And you won. So take us through that win real quick, a little bit of how you worked that out.
Yeah, so pretty much I didn't get the news of Abdul passing away until the day of weigh-ins.
To the day of weigh-ins?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, people didn't want to tell me maybe until the fight, which is understandable.
Because you don't know which way, how it's going to affect you.
For
Like
sure.
some people may not want to say it because we don't want it to affect your fight, and then other people want you to know.
Yeah.
So they were a little hesitant on that with you.
Yeah, but, I started getting messages in the morning. By that time, I was thirsty. I was hungry.
Right, trying to make weight.
Yeah.
So that's what happens when you try to make weight. You become thirsty and you become hungry.
Just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, but, man, I started getting these messages, and then, that's when I found out that Abdul had passed away. And then, man, after that, man, the pressure was on, man. I had to win this fight for Abdul, man. And, I was fortunate for, some of other of those students to step up. Guys like Tyler.
Yes.
Shout out to y'all. Tyler,
Yes.
Alex Stancato. Those guys stepped up to be in my corner.
Yeah.
And then, we took time practicing on wrapping hands and going through the process of warming me up. Everybody was a little nervous,
I bet they were.
This was my first fight since 2002 because I had a little injury. I broke my wrist.
Right.
It took me about a year and a half to heal. And, first fight coming back, fight without Abdul. And then this opponent, he's 1-1. But respectfully, he had a fight that weekend before.
Okay.
And he had a knockout win.
Yes.
So he was coming into this fight with that kind of confidence, I don't know if you remember that first 10 seconds.
Yes, I do remember.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. It got a little nervous for everybody, right?
Everybody. First 10 seconds, we was like, hold on.
So for some of the people that didn't watch the fight, man, I get clocked pretty hard a couple times, and but me doing a little research on the guy before on the day of the fight, I was like, man, this guy just came up from a knockout, and he's gonna come in here and thinking he's gonna do the same thing to me,
right?
So he's got that on him. And then, me, I haven't fought in over a couple years, coming back from an injury. Abdul's not in my corner.
Right,
and, things get a I know?
Yes.
So,
naturally.
but before that fight, man, or before the fight started, a few minutes before that walkout, I just had to, really just kind of catch myself and just real focus, stay real focused and just get my warrior mentality in.
Yes.
I usually don't do this, but this one I really had to dial in and just put that in me. And once that ring,
Ding.
yeah, and my plan was to kind of go out there and work my jab, show a little bit of my skills and what I can do. But this guy just kind of came in rushing in.
Yes, he did. He came right at me. I said, here we go.
Once he hit me with that uppercut that took my head up, I was like, all right, you know what?
We fighting now.
Yeah, we fighting now. You asked for it. You asked for it.
We fight now. We fight now. So, and like the age old saying, everybody's got a plan until what?
Pretty much.
Until you get clocked.
Yeah.
Once you get clocked, can you still stick with the plan, or can you still go with it? And you did. So it was great. It was great. And then to finish the way that you did.
Yeah, man. That did not because the whole fight, he was getting in so close, and I was so focused on trying to get my right hand in that, his head would be right here, and my hand would be behind his head.
Right.
That wasn't working. And then once I got back into my corner after that first round, Tyler, he told me, hey, man, that overhand you're looking for, it's not working. You got to throw the uppercut.
Okay.
That was in my mind the whole time. And then I guess a few minutes later, once we got back into the ring, we started fighting. I honestly didn't even see him. What I remember is I was just like uppercut, and I just threw it, and his head just was right there, and it just that
Bop.
was the money shot.
Bop! It was the money shot. You saw it in the clip earlier. That was the money shot, and I didn't. So you're just coming back off a hiatus, back into the ring.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So, and you had broken wrist. How's the wrist?
It's better. It's stronger for sure, but. But it's a little sore,
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it
it's
okay?
a little sore, but I think I should be good after a couple of weeks.
Yeah, all right. I like the life of a boxer. The life of a boxer.
Everything hurts. Everything hurts all the time. If you're not hurt, you're not working hard enough.
You heard the man. You're not working hard enough. Not hurting. So you said your sole career. Is that correct? In the Louisville. So family-wise, how's that work out for you? The family aspect.
Family's here.
So they're here as well.
Yeah, my uncle's family was here first. He's a pastor. He's still ministering, but he's in Maryland now.
Right.
But we came here, following the American dream.
Yes.
The American dream is still very well alive. My parents they started a business.
Okay.
It's an Asian grocery store. It's called Choi's Asian Food Market.
Choi's
So
Asian
if y'all haven't checked that out yet, I'm gonna do a little plug in, man.
Right,
607 Linden Lane. You come visit and you ask for me.
Yeah.
And I'll get you a little something,
That's awesome.
Choi's
That
Asian
is
Food
awesome.
Market. Yeah,
All
so
right,
we've been there over for almost like 20 plus years.
Oh,
It's
cool.
really part of the community in Louisville. I never realized it because I don't really go out much.
Right.
But people that I don't know, they talk about Choi's and my neighbors, I talk to them sometimes and they're like, oh yeah, I shop there. And on the internet forums, Facebook, whatever, everybody talks about it. I never realized how much of a big anchor it was for Louisville and the Asian community, but it is,
That's great.
I'm proud of it.
That's great, and great. I'd be proud of that too. So, let's see another thing. When you were, so where you train at now? So where you doing?
I'm still at Core Combat.
So you're still at Core Combat.
Yep, and we actually, the guy that I mentioned earlier, one of the guys that cornered me, Alex Stancato, he stepped up to take Abdul's place as a head coach.
Oh, did he now?
So, yeah. And
okay.
Alex, he's a character. He was one of Abdul's old students too. He started with Abdul,
right?
And he came back here to work with Abdul again because he was an amateur. He's not a pro.
Right.
He wanted to turn pro with Coach Abdul on his side, but with what's happened, unfortunately that didn't happen,
work out that way, right?
Yeah, but it almost seems like it was fate that Abdul was passing the torch over to his pupils like me, Tyler, Alex, and Alex stepped up to take over the program, and he's doing great, man.
Big shout out to Alex. I'm going to come holler at you, Alex. I'm going to come holler at you. We got to say something to the predecessor who comes after Abdul. So
sure, man.
I'm going to be coming for you.
You should have him on here. He's a good talker, man. He'll talk your ear off sometimes.
I'm coming for him. LLF coming for you. We coming for you. We coming for you. So as far as now that you're back in the scene, you come back off a hiatus, have a wonderful fight, outstanding fight. Ups and downs, and to come out and win. That's what the crowd likes to see. That's what people like to see. What you think you got going on forward? What's going on forward with your future? Like, we gonna have to wait 2 years for you to fight?
No. I don't know if you know Troy Estridge.
Yes, we do. You on that? You on that card?
I'm gonna be on that June 15th, I believe.
Yes, it's June 15th.
I'm gonna be on there. Tyler's going to be on there. He's one of the other pro fighters. You probably know him.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, yes, and then we're going to try to have Alex Sancato have his debut on there as well. So the whole team's going to be on there, and we're going to represent Blaze Boxing for Abdul, man. It's going to be a night of boxing.
Oh, that's going to be good, too. So June 15th, Troy Estridge's event. All right, good. So you might want to check that out. June 15th, Troy Estridge's event. The Team Abdul Jarvis, Core Boxing, they're all going to be there showing out and representing. So that's good. I'm glad you got a chance to plug that and say that. So Asian community, just off the top of your head, favorite food, favorite Asian cuisine.
Cuisine, man. I'm Korean, so I got to go with Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue?
Yeah, man, that's the short rib, the spare ribs that my mom makes, man, it's the best, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's
great.
Awesome.
It's good stuff.
That is awesome.
And kimchi for sure.
Kimchi.
Kimchi.
All right,
yep.
So you heard it right here. Recommendations.
That's where I get my power from. Kimchi power. Yeah.
All right. Cool. I love it. I love the way that sounds.
Yeah.
I love the way that sounds. So, do you have in your spare time? What type of hobbies do you do? With things you like to do in your spare time?
Hobbies. I'm a gamer. I play a lot of video games.
Okay.
When I can.
Okay.
I also.
What do you play?
What do I play?
Do you do the Twitch thing?
I tried it one time, but after a few days of one person watching, that's my friend. You get a little discouraged, but I'll play games here and there, like games that you would play by yourself, like single player games with rich stories and stuff like that.
All right, so you game. What else do you do besides game?
I got into motorcycle riding.
Okay,
recently.
that can be dangerous.
Yeah, it's a little dangerous. People think because I box and I ride motorcycles, they think I'm kind of like what do you call it?
Some wild boy.
Yeah. But I'm really not.
He's crazy. He's crazy.
You gotta be a little crazy to box, I think.
Right.
But they think I'm man, what's that word that I'm looking for? You're a thrill seeker.
A thrill seeker.
Something
there you
like
go.
that.
There you go. Extremist. Extreme seeker.
I'm really not. I think I'm just kind of just bored. When I get bored, I tend to get into, I guess, dangerous things. But
hey, that's interesting. Your children, when they get bored. All right, so we're gonna keep our children busy so they don't get into dangerous things. Love it. I love it. Pretty boy Troy in the building. So you got 15 coming up. You plan on sticking with it? You're moving forward. Do you know about your opponent on the 15th yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Just know about the date. And we're gonna train for it. We never overlook our opponents, especially me. People look up to me as a good boxer and all that stuff, but I think I'm still in the process of trying to believe that.
Right. Yes. Say that again.
Everybody goes through that.
Say that again. Everybody goes through that.
But for me, for sure, and people tell me that, man, you can fight, you can box, you got a good jab, but sometimes you don't believe it.
No, I mean you struck the nail right on the head.
Yeah.
People tell you you're good at something, and you could actually be good at something, but until you believe it yourself, it's interesting, and you're working your way towards that, and you will. I've seen him box. He will. He will. But I totally understand that thought process. So you kind of working yourself through that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, couple more uppercuts and knockouts like the last boxing event, and he'll make a believer out of himself out of it. He'll make a believer out of himself. Well, number one, I want to thank you for coming in. I want to thank you I know how boxers are. I know how their schedules are. So I want to thank you for coming here and spending some time with us and letting the people get a chance to know Pretty Boy Troy.
No, man. Yeah, thank you for having me. This is like my first experience with podcasts and interviews, and I really appreciate you taking your time to reach out to me and doing this. It means a lot.
Yeah, and the whole thing was I was just thinking, and I was like, we were just getting back up, for us because we come here and there because we have things to do as well. And I was like, you know what? I need an Abdul guy. And I'm bringing more Abdul guys too. Omar, I'm coming for you too. I'm coming for Omar too. And it was just perfect. And I said, he just fought. I said, man, let's get him. I talked to my producer. I was like, let's get him on there. And also be able to pay homage to Abdul Jarvis as well. And when you come and watch these guys fight, you can see the Abdul Jarvis work that he put in with you and how that exuberates when you're throwing these punches and being a gladiator in the ring with these guys. It is. It is great to see, and his spirit lives on. To live on through you, to live on through other boxers. You got the new coach out there. He's going to be making sure that it stays, and we're never going to forget about Abdul Jarvis. We're never going to forget about him. He's a big part of this scene here, is, and still will be, even in his passing.
For sure.
Always. He is. It's just great, man. And he did our first boxing camp, and I'm going to say, I don't want to say too much, so on the next show, I also say something to Abdul, too, because I got a couple of stories about Abdul. Sure. Guy's freaking awesome, man. He's freaking awesome. And so are you.
Thank you,
You're
man.
freaking awesome,
Thank
too.
You. Appreciate it.
The way you came back off a hiatus and handled yourself in the ring there, even after some, if you're flying, what do we call it, turbulence? Right? Even after a little bit of turbulence in the beginning, the way that you managed yourself and handled yourself and to be able to come back and win in the fashion that you came back and won in. It's just awesome. I'm glad I got a chance to be there, and I'm glad I got a chance to see it. I want to thank you for coming out. And since you're here, what we always do, of course, These are yours.
Yeah.
These are yours. So you get to take these with you as appreciation from LLF here. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people before we get out of here? Come June 15th.
Oh, man.
Yeah, come to the show June 15th.
Yeah,
you'll see
June
everything I'm
15th.
talking
Yep.
about.
There
Right.
you go. You got it.
Right, and check out the grocery store. Check out the family grocery store too.
Come
man.
back.
That's great. That's awesome, man. LLF local Louisville fight with Pretty Boy Troy. Say your name for me one more time.
Pretty Boy Choi, Jongin Choi.
Jongin Troy. Yeah, that's my name. That's his name. Pretty Boy Troy. We out of here. We'll see you next time. LLF, we out.